Hello everyone, and welcome to our food adventures. This adventure we are keeping it cool with the summer heat by making a delicious but yet light falafel pita wrap with pickled onions and along with homemade hummus. Yum! Let's get cooking, shall we? I got 1 cup of dried chickpeas with several cups of water. You want to make sure that they're completely covered with the water. That way they properly soak, and they have to soak for at least 24 hours. Alright, so I got a small saucepan here. It has already a cup of water to that. So I'm going to add a cup of vinegar, and this is for our pickled onions. 1/3 cup of sugar, and just give this like a light little stir. Basically, we're gonna put this on the burner. We're gonna boil this till the sugar completely dissolves and add this to our red onions. All right, so I got half of a red onion right here. I'm just gonna cut into nice slices. Our onions are all sliced up. Water and vinegar sugar mixture has come to a boil, so I'm just gonna dump it right into with the red onions. We're gonna let this hang out for a couple minutes just to make sure it comes to room temperature, and then we're gonna store this in the fridge. It takes about an hour for the onions to get nice and pickled. All right, so we're gonna preheat the oven to 400 degrees, so we're gonna roast some garlic for our homemade hummus. All right, so I got several garlic cloves here, and what I'm gonna do is just cut the top of it off, just to expose them, just like that. Drizzle some just regular olive oil just right over it, just like that. Season lightly with some good old salt, some black pepper, and then we're just gonna wrap this up like a present. And we're gonna throw this in the oven until it's fully roasted, so about 30 minutes or so, give or take. Just keep an eye on it so that way it doesn't burn. So we're gonna take those dried chickpeas from earlier. I went ahead and gave them a nice rinse. 1 shallot cut in half, 3 garlic cloves, teaspoon of salt for some flavor, some black pepper, a heaping teaspoon coriander for a little spicy kick, and completely optional, some cayenne pepper, 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1 bunch of flat leaf parsley right on in, and a bunch of cilantro right on in. All right, and about a 1/4 cup or so of extra virgin olive oil. And then for a little freshness, some good old just lemon zest. Last ingredient, half a teaspoon of baking powder just to help bind everything together. All right, now that I got everything in the food processor, I'm just gonna puree this till it gets nice and smooth. You'll see what I mean in a moment. All right, so I got a baking dish here. I'm just lined it with aluminum foil just to make my life easier for cleanup. And what we're gonna do is just drizzle with some regular olive oil just to ensure the falafels don't stick. All right, so this is our falafel mixture earlier. So it kind of looks like wet sand. That's the best way I can kind of explain it. And you wanna make sure when you hold it, see how it kind of nice hold its shape? That's exactly what you want. So we're gonna take a scoop, and you'll just measure 1 scoop out and just form into like a nice little ball almost, just like that, or maybe like a little patty. That's probably the best way to explain it. Just flatten it out very lightly. All right, so we're gonna pop this in the oven, same temperature, 400 for 15 minutes, and then you'll flip it and cook it for another 10, maybe 15 minutes. Just keep an eye, but you want a nice golden brown color. All right, so my garlic took a little bit longer, so I added additional time to it. But basically, this is what you want to look for: nice golden brown color. All right, so I got a 1.5 cups of cooked chickpeas, and to that we're gonna add a 1/4 cup of tahini, and tahini is ground up sesame seeds. Add a wonderful little nuttiness. Remember that lemon we zested earlier, so we're gonna use half of it for the juice. That roasted garlic we did earlier, just sprinkle it on in, just like that. And we're gonna season it with some salt, some black pepper, and just for a little smoky flavor, some paprika, a little sprinkle of extra virgin olive oil, and a little splash of water just to help bring it all together. Puree this until it's nice and smooth. All right, so it's nice and creamy, but I can see there's a little chunk still in there, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just graze the side of it, add a little more water. All right, so I add a little bit more water, and that's exactly what you want. All right, so I just pulled our falafel, and look at that beautiful golden brown color. All right, let's get everything plated up, shall we? All right, so I got a whole wheat pita wrap here, and I just cut it in half. What I'm gonna do is grab some of our delicious hummus and just spread it in just like that. All right, and then take half the falafel, put it right in like that. And just for a nice little crunch, those pickled onions from earlier. And there you have it, folks, my homemade pita falafel wrap. Super easy, super yummy, and perfect on a hot summer day. This is just gonna be a perfect light meal. Well, I will see you on my next adventure. Enjoy.